If you're a financial advisor or wealth manager and you've had a video blocked by compliance, or you're not making videos at all because you assume compliance will never approve them, I need to show you something, because compliance officers are not trying to kill your content. They're trying to prevent 3 specific types of claim. And once you know what those 3 things are, getting approval becomes a scripting decision, not a creative sacrifice. Now, this is for you if these things have happened. You draft a script, or your marketing team does, it goes to compliance, it then comes back with so many caveats, disclaimers and redaction that the actual message is unrecognizable. We can't say that, we can't imply that. We need to add a disclaimer to this. The result is content so hedged, it actually communicates nothing. Meanwhile, your competitors, the ones who understand how compliance actually works, are publishing trust-building video every single week, building authority and getting those lovely inbound inquiries. And you're still stuck in draft mode. In this video, I'm going to be showing you the 3 safe zones compliance will always approve, whether you're regulated by the FCA in the UK, SEC in the US, or provincial regulators in Canada. Also, why most advisors go straight for zone 3 and then get rejected. And thirdly, the script test that gets you compliance approval first time. I work with people who film client-focused content every month, compliance approved. No drama, no endless redrafts, because they understand the zones. I'm Jeremy, 28 years making TV for the BBC, ITV, Netflix, and here's what most people don't know. I've filmed in environments with compliance sign-off requirements more demanding than anything financial regulators produce. TV legal teams, Ofcom, national broadcast events where if one word is wrong, the consequences are immediate and public. And the discipline I learned there was this: know exactly what line you are not crossing and stay clearly on the right side of it. And say everything you want to say in the space that remains. There is always room. The advisors who think compliance kills content have never actually been shown where that space exists. And look, if you want the exact 3-zone framework I use with Authority Engine clients, the script template, the compliance checklist, the whole thing, it's free. It's called the Compliance Safe Video Checklist. Takes 5 or so minutes to run through before you film anything, and the link to it is in the description, so grab it now whilst we go through this. Okay, let's talk about what compliance is actually protecting against. Now, here's what I see happen time and time again. An advisor decides to make a video, they want to build trust, so they think, I'll tell a client's story, show what we achieved, prove that we know what we're doing. They write the script. We recently worked with a client who was about to retire. They had $800,000 in their pension. We restructured it, and now they're saving $12,000 a year in tax. They send it to compliance, and compliance says, no, you cannot guarantee that result for every client. You can't imply that restructuring always saves that amount. You need a disclaimer about individual circumstances. You need a disclaimer about past performance. You need yada, yada, yada. And then the advisor tunes out because by the time compliance is finished, the video sounds like a terms and conditions page, so they give up. The video gets shelved, and ultimately the trust building that needs to happen doesn't happen. And here's the problem. The advisor went straight for zone 3, client outcomes, without establishing zones 1 and 2 first, and that is why it got rejected. So here's how compliance actually works. Compliance officers approve video that stays within 3 content zones. And the first zone, zone 1, is educational. How the financial mechanism works, not advice, just explanation. Here's how inheritance tax is calculated in the UK. Here's what happens to your pension when you die. Here's the difference between a traditional IRA and a Roth IRA. No claims, no promises, just information, and that is always safe. Zone 2, the second zone, philosophical. Your firm's approach, your values, your process, framed as perspective, not promise. We believe the best pension strategy starts with understanding what you actually want from retirement. Our approach is to model 3 scenarios before recommending anything. We prioritize tax efficiency over chasing market returns. All of those are philosophy. That's safe because you're not guaranteeing an outcome. You're just explaining how you think. And then the third zone, zone 3, is anonymized outcome. What happened for a client type? Safe with proper anonymization and consent if applicable. We worked with a retiring business owner. They had concerns about inheritance tax. We restructured their estate plan. The family saved approximately £180,000 in projected tax liability. Add then the standard disclaimers, past performance, individual circumstances, regulated advice required. Then all that is compliance. Now, the mistake that most advisors make is they go straight for zone 3, the client outcomes, the big numbers, the proof, and they skip zones 1 and 2 entirely. So compliance sees that and thinks, that looks like a guarantee, reject. But if you establish zones 1 and 2 first, educational content, philosophical content, and then bring in zone 3 with proper disclaimers, then compliance understands what you're doing and they approve it. Here's what you do before you send anything to compliance. Open your script, underline every sentence, mark 1, E, educational fact, P, philosophical stance, or O, client outcome. If you've got more than 2 O sentences in a 5-minute video, you're too heavy on outcomes, so you need to rebalance it. If any sentence marked O contains a specific name, a guaranteed result, or a direct claim without a disclaimer, rewrite it, anonymize it, or remove it. Then look at your E and P sentences. Are they doing the trust building work, or are they just filler before you get to the outcome? Because here's the truth. Zones 1 and 2, educational and philosophical, will build more trust than zone 3 ever will. The advisor who explains how inheritance tax actually works in normal English with no jargon, that advisor there is already building trust before they've mentioned a single client. The outcome is about proving credibility, but the explanation is what builds trust. So if you do all of that and you send what remains of the script to compliance, your pass rate is going to improve dramatically. And if you're thinking, this makes sense, but I want the actual template so I don't have to work all this out from scratch, that is what the compliance safe video checklist is for. The 3-zone framework, the script test, the exact disclaimers to use. Takes 5 minutes, free, and like I said, the link is in the description. Right, so you've got compliance approved, fantastic. Video is in the green, but here is the next problem. You sit down to film a video and you're thinking, the prospect I most want to reach, the high net worth individual, the retiring business owner, the family with the inheritance tax problem, I need them to actually find this video. And how do I make sure the right 50 people watch it? Not just anyone, the right people. That's what I'm covering next. The video structure that doesn't just get views, it gets the right views. People who are already looking for a financial advisor, already anxious about the right thing, already primed to book a call. Because compliance approved video that nobody watches, well, that's just compliance approved. It's not authority building, it's not pipeline generating. And in this next video, I'm breaking down the exact mechanism, the trust threshold, the content pattern that creates it. That's next, so make sure you click on the screen in a second. So that's it. If this sorted your compliance paralysis, definitely hit like and subscribe because I'm building the full system here. Compliance approved video that actually builds your practice, not theory, actual implementation. And if you want all the goodness that's in the compliance safe video checklist, the link to that is in the description. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Take care.